Hey, good morning.
Hello, everyone. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Kansas City. My goodness, it is Mecum in the morning with Matt Avery, Lorette Nickel here, and Saturday morning. Things are just getting to a roll. We are in our festive best because we are wrapping up the 2025 year, Matt. Happy holidays are coming right around the corner. Oh my goodness, I love the jacket.
Yeah, we maximized the festivity cheer today.
We did.
And I love it. We were goofing off a little bit yesterday, and we got tons of compliments.
Yep.
So I think our wardrobe is really stealing the show.
Yeah, for sure. And I love that you were totally game to play. We were really excited to just, again, wrap up the season, wrap up the year, and bringing out our holiday best. And bringing out our holiday best is, of course, the Mecum auction here in Kansas City, where we have had a lot of incredible cars so far, but we have more coming up. We're going to have 29 pieces of road art. 227 vehicles are going to cross the block, and there's 3 collections. Kansas City is kind of a hotbed for pickup trucks. So we've seen a lot of really incredible pickup trucks roll through, and we were able to talk about some of our favorites yesterday, which was great. We also have some incredible merch that is Kansas City specific. Yeah, like that blazer. That's so cool. I love how every stop Mecum brings out specific merchandise. So again, the Kansas City city lights in the back, and the next stop is Florida, so new merch there. Christmas tree ornaments have rolled out. I love that for the collectors that want to decorate their tree with that Mecum sold. Of course, the t-shirts, there's ladies and men's, the hats. Yeah, it's all really great. So when people come out to Kansas City and they can bring gifts back to the family.
Yeah, and I will say yesterday we had people coming by the set asking for it because I know they were doing some holiday shopping, and so you can find it here on site as you come out and visit us at the Kansas City Convention Center for our final day here in Kansas City. And as you mentioned, I love that big old blazer on that shirt.
Yeah,
and
really cool.
And if you can't be on site, you can of course shop at the Mecum.shop. You can find all the gifts online if you want to shop from wherever you're at.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. I love the regional gifts too. So I just think that that's really fun, and looking forward to the merch that's going to roll out in 2026. My gosh, I can't believe it's right around the corner. And something else that's right around the corner, which I am so thrilled for you. You and Alyssa and Bree, you guys it's been a meeting of the minds. You've worked so hard on this project. And would you like me to introduce it? Would you like to?
Well, we'll let the cat out of the bag. We are launching something brand new called On the Move.
I'm Matt Avery, and today I'm on the move. Join me as I travel the country, uncovering history, the cars, and the roads worth taking. I hit the biggest events and museums, dig into legendary collections, and always take the scenic route, because every mile has a story.
Matt, I love it. Every mile has a story, and this is such an opportunity for exactly that.
Yeah, it really is. You know, Lorette, we've talked about this on the show for a while, and it's been in the works for many months now, and it's so exciting to be right on the launch. So we're going to drop the first episode on Monday coming up, and so essentially it's a brand new video series that I'll be hosting called On the Move with Matt Avery, obviously, but it's an opportunity for even more storytelling for us at Mecum Auctions to further connect with the automotive community and to go and experience some of the best automotive events, check out some of the top collections, attend some of the largest events. And so I've been on the road producing content for this series, and I'm so excited to just see how this has evolved.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I can't wait until Monday. It drops. Where can I find it?
You can find it on Mecum's YouTube channel.
Okay.
And down the road, possibly some other places. But for now, you'll want to head over to Mecum's YouTube channel on Monday. And we've got some great content. You know, you saw a little bit of a tease there in the B-roll package of different stories that I've been uncovering and detailing, and from around the country, literally coast to coast.
Wow.
Just it's so exciting. It's also really neat, Lorette, to see how this has evolved, the On the Move as a platform, only because it really has shifted over the years. It kind of came out of the On the Move podcast that myself and John Craman hosted years ago. And then also On the Move is also my column in the Mecum magazine. And so now it's going to become its own series. So it's very exciting just to see that. And it's so appropriate too, on the move, on the road, on the go. I love it. And I know our viewers will too.
That's so fitting. I'm so excited for you. Can you give us a hint of maybe some of the places that you went?
Absolutely. So some of the events this summer include coverage of Back to the 50s up there in Minnesota. Great event. Blows my mind how many vehicles that they get there, thousands there at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. And I was able to pound the pavement, got some great stories, some local ties there to the St. Paul area. And then also I've got a couple stories from my time down at the American Muscle Car Museum in Melbourne, Florida, with my friends there. We pulled out some incredible vehicles for some head-to-heads, for some comparisons. Really excited about that. And you can see it there. That's a real deal. Big block 427 Cobra, Hertz Shelby Mustangs. We've got it all coming, and we've got so much more in store. I'm already building out where we'll be attending in 2026, and it's going to be a wild ride.
Incredible. So excited for Monday. We're On the Move with Matt Avery drops on the Mecum YouTube channel. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about this show?
Just that I encourage viewers to check it out. Like I said, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be something entirely new for us here at Mecum Auctions, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to just get it out there. It's coming Monday, so tune in for On the Move.
Passion project brought to life. Incredible. so thrilled for you. Well, there's been a lot of movement. We've gone from Vegas to Kansas City. You have been capturing On the Move content, and Rex's museum is also a very special place. Let's take a look.
Salina, Kansas was once a popular spot for prospectors to stop off in their journey west. And today, it has its own source of treasure. Rusty gold and other automotive finds ready for their next adventure. All of it coming from Rex's Antique Car Museum. It was assembled by Rex Russell, who was looking for a hobby outside of his full-time work dealing in heavy equipment. And over the years and up into the museum's closing, he amassed over 80 collector vehicles spanning 8 decades of automotive history. One of the largest groups are those coming from the early years of transportation, right around the start of the 19th century, with the standout being this fully restored 1911 Mercury Fairboard Express, built in Chicago and meant for industrial use in tight urban areas. And there's more from the brass era, like this 1915 Ford Runabout, a 1916 Metz Roadster, and a 1913 Model T Touring with just 4,925 miles showing on the odometer. Shifting into the 1930s, cars like this Nash 480 and this Packard demonstrate how vehicles have become refined with greater levels of style and performance. Fast forward to the rock and roll era of the 1950s, and you'll find some sock hop classics like this Ford Fairlane, Chevrolet Bel Air, and Plymouth Belvedere. And from the same era, small in size and in performance, but big on charm, how about this Nash Metropolitan? You would definitely call these luxurious land yachts. This Cadillac DeVille and Chrysler New Yorker, representing some of the comfiest rides, cruising the roads in the 1960s and 70s with tons of room to bring all your buddies. Who would still want to come along with you if you were in something much smaller, like this yellow VW Beetle? How about some rad two-seat sports cars from the 80s and 90s, like a Pontiac Fiero GT, 2 C4 Corvettes, and some German flair in the form of a Mercedes 500 SL. And Rex, always seeing the diamonds in the rough and wanting to save as much as possible, put cars all over, with some of the museum's collection requiring some extra TLC to get back on the road. Amongst the lot, there's also a motorcycle, a race car, the museum shuttle bus, and even the parade fire truck, showing that Rex loved everything with wheels. Look for it all selling at no reserve at Mecum's Kansas City auction.
Wow, Matt, what an experience that must have been for you, walking through this collection of this man that it's so unique. I don't know if there was a rhyme or reason or if he just loved everything, but it felt purposeful. And he obviously cared so much about all of that. Do you know more about Rex?
So I will say, all I could gather was from some of the media that, that his museum had gotten over the years, some of those newspaper articles, and it just seemed like he was a local resident that had a hobby with his sons in particular. I think he started collecting, and over the years, I think it just was stuff that caught his eye. And so Rex has passed away, so his estate was brought here, and over 80 vehicles across the auction block here in Kansas City. More are crossing today, and it was just a lot of fun, as you could tell in that piece. It was neat to kind of explore and uncover and just see just the wide range of vehicles as early as like 1910, 1915, and then all the way up to, I think the fire truck was the newest piece from 1991. But really interesting, Lorette. Not a lot of muscle, which is okay. Obviously that's a big draw for collectors, but it's also kind of nice when you see some of the other classics from the 1960s and 70s. It doesn't always have to be big block, pony cars and muscle cars. And so it was really charming to see all the stuff that Rex had acquired. Yeah.
We did the truck section, and you picked the 5 fire trucks. But besides that, did you have any personal favorites?
I did.
Okay.
I saw a lot of collectors this week here in Kansas City taking a look at that, just because that model, I think, speaks to the next generation of enthusiasts. So I did like that one. He also had some of those big, luxurious American land yachts, the Lincoln Continental, the big Cadillac. I think those are always fan favorites. They've got so much style. They form the perfect foundation for any kind of project. So I'm really excited to see the next chapter for these vehicles. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some of them come back, it just having gone to the next enthusiast who then does a restoration or some kind of a custom build. So that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, to your point of the restoration, my idea still is floating around of the fire truck that gets fixed up for Christmas parades, and you have Santa driving it in, down Main Street. I think that would be something that's really sweet.
One of my visions that I had for one of his projects was also fire truck related. I posted this on my social media after visiting the museum there, but I thought how cool if that fire truck got a Hellcat conversion, which would just be phenomenal in my book. It's a Dodge fire truck, so it's totally on brand.
Okay.
But, put 707 horsepower in that fire truck. I think that thing would be a screamer. So I posed that to my audience. It was kind of fun to see all the comments. Some people said no way. Some people were like, leave it with the stock powertrain. But obviously a lot of potential there with those vehicles. And of course, if people want to check out the results, you can find that at mecum.com. And then also keep an eye for the rest of his collection crossing the block today.
Wow. Well, I think something that maybe would have helped Rex is real garage life. Yeah.
That's a good point, Laurette, that obviously when you start acquiring a lot of vehicles, storage becomes a serious problem, right? And so it's so great to have Advantage Lifts and Real Garage Life and Backyard Buddy all be a part of supporting and sponsoring here at Mecum Auctions. And I will say, as part of On the Move Travels this fall, was so great to be able to go out to their Backyard Buddy facility there in Ohio and see firsthand just what goes in to the creation of these lifts that Really, what I have noticed, Lorette, is that these backyard buddies in particular are sought out by collectors, not just for the pure storage aspect, but also just for the craftsmanship, and that it really becomes a key part of top collections. In my travels, I'm seeing them more and more, in some of the big garages and collections, just because, again, it's not just the functionality of it, which there's a lot of innovative features on these, but also the looks, the high quality, the craftsmanship that goes into these products that are assembled in America. And so it was very neat to go firsthand, though. Like I said, we had talked about this for a while, and finally this fall, Alyssa and I, we said, let's go out there. So we were able to see firsthand just how these pieces are being made and assembled. And it was cool. It was really neat. We've got a package that's on the YouTube channel. We covered it in the morning show, but if people want to see those travels, they can find it at the Mecum YouTube channel just to see our discovery through the facility there in Ohio.
Yeah. Do you have any room in your garage to have a system put in?
For a backyard buddy? I think so. I think so. I love, one of the neat aspects I love are the wide treads that they have, but also the grooves for the lights. You can see those on display. Now, I know I should clarify, because we're festive, not Christmas lights per se.
Right.
But they do have some functional, like I think they call them groove lighting, just really neat products to help the enthusiast, the collector, maximize the storage, but then also accessing the vehicle. And of course, if people want to see these up close, they don't have to go to Ohio. They can come out to Mecum Auctions and find where they're set up. And they're here today. They've got one of their backyard buddies on site here at the Kansas City Convention Center. They've got a rep on site, and they can get all the information that they need. Yeah,
and I was just watching that video, and obviously the quality is so high, and my mind immediately went, I wonder if it's only for cars, or if I could fit the 15 dirt bikes and the motorcycle sidecar that I have that are in my garage with my husband, and if we could stack it like that, create a little bit more room.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. I was looking at the treads that were going this way, and I'm like, well, we can park the bikes that way and go that way. Listen, it was just a thought that I had. But another thought, since we are festive, what do you think Santa would ask to put on that lift? That's true. I mean, I think up in the North Pole, storage could be a problem. I'm assuming that Santa has multiple sleighs. Oh, I don't think. Does he? I thought he only had one. Well, I would think that there's you've got to have backup sleighs, and also I would think that in case he loans them out, to be on display at other locations, other Santa museums, Christmas Globe. All of the Hallmark locations that arise only in Hallmark locations, the Christmas tree farm, stuff like that. So I'm just thinking that he has a fleet of sleighs. I think there's a show one that he uses, but I think the other ones need to be stored, and I'm sure he's got a killer car collection too. This is amazing. I've never thought this deep about it, but I appreciate that you have. Yeah. Absolutely, a lot of hours. Phenomenal. Or at least certainly minutes put into this. But changed my mind. I think he has a fleet of sleighs, and again, I think it's position that he only has one, but he's got to have backups. What if one of the rails breaks or something? You're right. But anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, before we get completely off the rails. Yeah. You know what I think Santa would do if he could choose muscle cars? Yeah. I think he would choose either the Chevelle or the Torino that he would store in his garage. And let's see if you agree with that.
Kansas City has deep automotive roots, and here at Mecum Auctions, we have two powerhouses in a typical Ford versus Chevy showdown. Built at Chevrolet's Kansas City factory, this is a symbol of the golden age of American muscle. And as an added bonus, this is so much fun, the build sheet, a copy of this, of course, lists Kansas City. You can also see the roots on the trim tag. This 1970 Chevrolet SS LS5 is special for its potent big block engine, stunning style, and aggressive personality. With a 454 cubic inch V8 engine, Muncie M22 4-speed manual transmission, power steering. Also, as an added bonus, this cowl induction works. So as soon as your foot hits that accelerator, fresh air goes straight into the carburetor. You got a little bit of extra power. This beauty is a force to be reckoned with. So we move from the Chevelle to this beautiful 1970s Ford Torino Twister Special. Sold in nearby Topeka at Noller Motors, established in the 60s, and they're still in business today. The highest performance package sits under the hood with a 429 cubic inch Cobra Jet Ram Air V8 engine. This is one of 90 Torino Twister specials produced and one of only 30 produced with a 4-speed manual. So what makes the Twister Special package so special? The Twister Special project was designed and managed right here in Kansas City. This was a really cool marketing promotion for people just in this area. Heritage is so evident here at Mecum Auctions in Kansas City, and nowhere is it more obvious than in this pair of classic cars.
Beauty. Those two, it's so fun being around such icons, right? It's you have the Chevelle versus Torino, Ford versus Chevy, but just, yeah, incredible pieces of muscle here.
And as you point out, that package with local ties here to the area, so neat. You know, the Twister has a pull in this area. When we were producing that piece on that Torino, we had so many people coming up and saying, oh, they're recognizing the car, you know, that unique iconography on the back. So neat to see that regional marketing effort still connect with people in this area. And then likewise with that Chevelle, obviously having been made just down the road at the plant here in Kansas City. So
yeah, and it was really cool too because we got to meet the owner of the Chevelle. He and his son were out here, and so he this is his first Mecum auction. This is his first time selling a car, and he has enjoyed that Chevelle so much, and he's ready for it to go into its new home. And he mentioned to me that he hoped that someone appreciates the car as much as he did. He kind of expected them to drive it a little bit, but probably put it in a museum or put it in a place of safety.
yeah. And I love how both of those are, you know, top dogs in terms of performance, you know, with that Chevelle being powered by that LS5, the big 454, and then, of course, crosstown rival of Detroit with that Torino having that big 428 Cobra Jet. So really neat picks. Between the two, which one would you be driving home?
I really liked the Chevelle.
Okay.
Yeah. I loved the aesthetic of it. I love the power. I thought it was a beauty.
I think I would say I'm gonna say Chevelle. I'm a big Chevrolet performance guy, but really neat package, Lorette. I loved it. And speaking of Chevrolet performance, let's keep the theme on that by spotlighting a JL8 Camaro.
This is a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 with the ultra rare JL8 four-wheel disc brake option. And I'm here with Kathy and Larry. And what sets this vehicle apart is the fact that it was purchased new by Larry, your brother. What was the story of how he acquired it?
We waited several weeks for the car to be made. When it came in, the dealer called and asked my brother, we're going to need more money because it come with this other package. And we didn't know what he was talking about. And that was the JL8 package. And then so he went to the dealership. He was either going to get this car or he was going to reorder one without that package. And luckily he bought this one. So, and that's how it came about. You know, this was an accident, but that was a nice accident.
Let's see what's underneath the hood, Larry. It should be the wildly popular 302. There it is. Yes. I'm guessing it's never been out of the car?
No, it's original transmission. Everything on this, all numbers match on it.
Yeah, set up for the track, and
Yeah.
and a lot of them were hammered on, and yet your brother had the forethought to preserve this one and use it and keep it far away from any kind of hard use.
Yeah, he never raced this car or anything like that, no.
How many were optioned with the JL8?
There was roughly 206, and exactly 206.
How did Jimmy use the car? Was it his daily driver?
No, just special occasions. The car was never raced, never wrecked. The original top, original interior, original paint. That's the way pretty much it came from the factory.
And he also later built a garage with a hoist so the car wouldn't be on the concrete. He wanted it up off of the ground so the underside wouldn't rust.
Why now the time to let the car move on to the next caretaker?
Well, he passed away in August of last year. You know, I think it's time to find another good home.
And why Mecum Auctions?
I think they're one of the best.
It's a closing chapter of family.
But he cared for it well, and that's so evident. And I'm sure the next caretaker will enjoy it just as much.
Oh, I really hope so.
Look for this very special one family-owned Z28 racing across the block at Mecum's 2026 Kissimmee auction.
Wow, Matt, what a neat piece. Could you clarify what exactly was a JL8?
Yeah, so, Laurette, we've had a theme this week here in Kansas City, diving into Chevrolet performance, with all of it hinging on these RPO codes. And, whether it be LS5 or the L78 of the Nova. And today we've got JL8 Camaro. And essentially it all goes back to how Chevrolet option their vehicles, because obviously when a car is built, they have a marketing term, but then they almost have kind of an internal or an ordering term to identify what parts or what equipment is going on the car. So in the case of 1969 for the Camaro, if you wanted the car to be equipped with four-wheel disc brakes, Chevrolet identified that option as JL8. So that's why you would see in the paperwork on the far left. And again, so now as these options become sought out, now these terms kind of get thrown around, and that's how you kind of identify what they are. And in the case of that Z28, wildly popular version of the Camaro, kind of being that race-oriented version, the JL8 equipped it with four-wheel disc brakes, which I know it sounds kind of common today, but of course back then it was a big deal, and it indicated, or it supported that car in track efforts. That's why you would want them, because the Z28 is what would be out competing in SCCA racing, and you would want those four-wheel disc brakes to help you with braking.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for the explanation. Well, if you would all leave us a comment, what do you want to see? What excites you? What did you see at the Kansas City auction that you loved? We would love to hear from you. And of course, as we wrap up the 2025 season, I just want to say a very special thanks to you, Matt, to Bree, to Kayla, to Phil, of course, to Alyssa. This has been a really amazing experience for me, so thank you.
Well, thanks for joining in here, Laurette, as we close out the year. It was so great to have you on, so great to bring you back as we move into 2026. It's been an incredible year of Mecum in the Morning. Thank you to you, our viewers, for joining us for another wild season. We've got so much more in store as we wind down the year and as we rev right back up to relaunch or to kick off the year there in Kissimmee. And of course, before we close out here in Kansas City, get ready for a full day of auction action. You can tune into the live TV broadcast on ESPN Plus, all kinds of great auction coverage. And Laurette, you said so well. Thank you to everyone. It's been an incredible season of Mecum in the Morning. We wish you a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you in January.